This is Industry Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we analyze a different industry. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about the automobile industry. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hello, Aluxers. Have you been lately? It's great to have you back with us for another interesting video created for you by our team here at Alux.com. There aren't many things in life that scream luxury and fine living like stepping out in a high-end vehicle, am I right? Which is why we chose today to talk about an industry many of us are passionate about, sometimes to the extreme, the automobile industry. The automobile industry is one of the most important economic sectors in the world and is composed by all the companies that design, develop, manufacture, and sell motor vehicles. This industry produces all of the components for a car except the battery, the tires, and the fuel. Passenger automobiles are the primary product of the automobile industry, and even though commercial vehicles are a huge part of it, they are not the main focus. The industry emerged in Europe during the late 19th century, and by the time the first half of the 20th century had passed, the United States was already dominating the scene. Whether you have a guilty pleasure for cars or you're looking to buy one, our video will keep you glued to the screen with some interesting and amazing facts. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. Here are the 15 things you didn't know about the automobile industry. Number 1. Electric cars spare your tax and gas money. We all know that even though gas prices have dropped and are at the lowest they've been since 2008, electricity is still cheaper than gasoline. If you don't really care about the environment, which you should, make this the reason for switching to an electric car. Also, governments around the world offer sizable tax credits for people choosing an electric car over a fuel-powered one, and offer advantages like free parking for green cars. Back to the environment talk, studies have shown that electric cars don't pollute as much as cars running on fuel, even if some people argue that building the green car's batteries consumes as much energy as running on a gas car. Number 2. Between 2008 and 2010, the industry suffered significantly from the economic crisis. When the financial crisis hit the world back in 2008, everyone was affected and lots of industries suffered from it. The automotive industry crisis from 2008 to 2010 affected the market significantly. Even though it was mainly felt in the United States, the crisis affected other parts of the globe such as Europe and Asia because of the Automotive Products Trade Agreement in place. The gas prices reached over $4 a gallon, and Americans were forced to switch from big vehicles to small ones that consumed less. Before 2008, the industry produced 17 million cars per year. The sales dropped to 7 million cars in 2008 and reached 10 million cars over the following years. Despite the price of gas falling to $33.87 per barrel, the crisis in the automobile industry continued, but now things are back to being stable. Number 3. India doesn't have the best traffic system in place. India is a very populated country, so you can imagine how hard it must be to drive in such traffic. In 2007, 130,000 people died in car accidents all over India. Delhi's Institute of Traffic Education declared that India has a bad traffic management system due to not separating the different streams. They also stated that people have poor driving training and pay little to no attention to the rules. The journalist Peter Foster also expressed his experience with driving in India, saying that people weren't attentive to the danger that they are exposed to by driving so chaotically. People try to do everything to avoid the traffic jam, but eventually end up making it worse, blocking most of the roads. The highest number of accidents amongst the cities of India takes place in the capital, Delhi, with an astonishing number of 5 deaths per day on the roads of the city. Number 4. The average car has 30,000 parts. We only see the final product when it comes to the automobile industry, but what we often forget is that it takes anywhere from 17 to 18 hours to a couple of months to put together a car, not to mention the thousands of workers and robots involved and around 30,000 parts, counted down to the smallest elements such as screws and bolts. Those 30,000 parts are all from different materials and need different manufacturing techniques. Every little or big element of the car is important and plays a significant role in making it work efficiently. There are parts such as the engine, the gearbox, the brakes, the drive axle, the oil filters, and the chassis that are crucial to the vehicle. Number 5. The Sultan of Brunei has the biggest car collection in the world and a net worth of $20 billion. Even though Forbes doesn't list him on their list of top billionaires of the world, Hassan al-Bolkiah, the Sultan of Brunei, was declared by the state as the world's richest royal, with a net worth of $20 billion. Moreover, the Sultan has an amazing collection of cars, housed in a luxurious garage that looks more like a palace. To make it more impressive, the garage has a wing for each brand of car he owns. Bolkiah's collection has over 5,000 cars that go from exotics and sports cars to rare and limited edition cars. He's the owner of 600 Rolls-Royces, 300 Ferraris, 20 Koenigsegg's, 11 McLaren F1s, and 6 Daewoo Porsche 962 LMs, and his entire collection is estimated at a value of $300 million. Number 6. Volkswagen carbon emissions caused a huge scandal known as Dieselgate. If you think about the years of research put into developing efficient engines that would pollute less, you would expect we'd be in a much better place by now than we were a couple of years ago, and that we're protected from all of the pollution around us. Unfortunately, Volkswagen found a way to cheat the system and go against the European Union's law that restricted the allowed emission standards in 2015, when the EU specifically asked all car manufacturers to use engines that would reduce the level of carbon dioxide emissions. Volkswagen found a way to cheat the emission measurer software and ended up putting the health of thousands of Europeans at risk. Until the truth came out, 35 million diesel cars that have toxic emissions were sold. Number 7. Diesel cars are slowly being replaced. Diesel engines have one of the worst impacts on the environment because of its toxic emissions. There are complex methods to lower the quality of nitrite dioxide in emissions, but car manufacturers would have to sacrifice performance or manufacturing price. People started to become more aware of the impact they have on the environment, and after the Volkswagen scandal, the prediction for sales rates for diesel cars in 2018 are pretty low. Automobile specialist Professor David Bailey says that diesel is dying a slow death. In 2017, the sales of diesel cars slumped by 17.1%, and experts declared that this is only just the beginning. Number 8. Self-driving cars caused a few deaths this year. Self-driving cars are still a new technology that can really change the world of automobiles as we know it. But are they a good thing or not? On March 18th, Uber's first self-driving car killed a pedestrian in Tempe, Arizona, United States. After the incident, Uber and Toyota stopped their testing, and authorities are rethinking their decisions to allow self-driving cars on the roads just yet. It's likely the development of the concept will restart, but at what cost? Some argue that hundreds, if not thousands of people will die if there'll be a glitch in the system of a self-driving car. Another similar incident happened with a Tesla Model X car that crashed while on autopilot. The driver died in the crash, and the lawyer that the grieving family hired states that the incident wouldn't have happened if the car wasn't on autopilot mode. Number 9. There are over 1 billion cars in use on Earth. If you think the number is high now, with over 1 billion cars in use, excluding the off-road vehicles and construction ones, wait until 2040, when the number of cars will reach 2 billion as predicted. With each passing year, the number of cars on roads and kilometers driven will most likely double. Let's at least hope the cars will become more environmentally friendly. The United States has the world's largest automobile fleet, with almost 250 million vehicles in use, which is not that surprising since we already know that the US holds a big share of the automotive production, with over 3 million cars produced every year. Number 10. The most expensive car produced in the world is the KOENIGSEGG CCXR TREVITA. The KOENIGSEGG CCXR TREVITA is for sure a luxurious and expensive car. Its price goes up to $4.8 million, but what takes it to another level is that its visible carbon fiber bodywork is infused with tiny diamonds that sparkle in the sun, making the car a work of art. Moreover, even the name of the car has a hidden meaning. In Swedish, TREVITA means 3 whites. Underneath the unique appearance of the car, you can find the 4.8-liter dual supercharged V8 engine with a total output of 1,004 horsepower. All those attributes make this car super fast, having no trouble reaching high speeds in a few seconds. The car is so exclusive that only 3 were ever made. Talk about extravagance! And you want to see some more luxurious cars, Aluxers? Make sure to check out our top 10 most expensive cars in the world 2017 video by clicking in the top right corner. Number 11. The average American spends over 42 hours per year stuck in traffic. We've all seen at least a few American movies, so we know how traffic is portrayed in them. Sadly, it's also reality as well. Americans usually commute to work and end up spending up to 42 hours per year in traffic, as studies show. And it's all because of the strong economy and cheap gas that makes US citizens choose to drive to work rather than take the metro. Gladly, the rate is lower now. Belgium was actually holding second place with over 40 hours per year, and in third place comes the Netherlands with over 39 hours per year. If we were to take it by cities, Los Angeles would win the competition hands down. The average American that lives in Los Angeles spends over 81 hours a year stuck in traffic. In Washington, D.C., the grass isn't much greener, with people spending up to 75 hours per year sitting in traffic. What a waste! Number 12. Volkswagen is the most profitable car company in 2018. The competition is pretty big in the automobile industry, and companies have to really be profitable to lead the list of highest-selling car companies. Even though Volkswagen had a scandal with its clean diesel issue over the past few years, the company is still profitable, and apparently their sales didn't drop that much. The Volkswagen Group comprises of other well-known companies around the world such as Bugatti, Audi, Lamborghini, Porsche, Seat, Skoda, and Bentley. The huge company sold $10.10 million worth of vehicles last year. Moreover, it has 11.1% of the global automobile manufacturing market share, which is impressive if you think about all the companies out there. Both Toyota and Tesla are really close to Volkswagen's net worth, but will they take its place? Who knows? Number 13. The best TV series for car lovers is Top Gear. Top Gear was launched in 2002 as a magazine and as a factual television series. It was created by Jeremy Clarkson and Andy Willman and aired on BBC Two before becoming popular all over the world. The TV series comes as a relaunched version of a show with the same name from 1977. Top Gear focuses on review and testing of cars, but it also shows the fun side of driving a car through motoring-based challenges, special races, timed laps of notable cars, and celebrity guests. The show was specially designed for car lovers and is made in such a way that it keeps you glued to the screen. According to a recent poll, the show, now held by Matt LeBlanc, Rory Reid, and Chris Harris, is considered to be the greatest show about cars in the history of television. Number 14. Venezuela has the cheapest gas prices in the world. Countries have different prices on gas, and usually, the rule is that richer countries have higher prices and poorer countries have lower prices, an exception to this rule being the United States, that has some of the lowest gas prices in the world. $1.16 per liter is the average price of gas around the world, but in Venezuela, the gas price is around $0.6 per liter. And this is the latest price, since there was a time when it was $0.1 per liter. The president, Nicolás Maduro, raised the price to help ease the financial crisis that Venezuela is going through. Also, the cost of lower-grade petrol was raised to $0.1 per liter. If the gas was that cheap in the US too, the hours that people spend stuck in traffic would certainly reach even higher numbers than at the moment. Number 15. That new car smell is composed of over 50 volatile organic compounds. As odd as it may sound, many people are in love with the smell of a new car, but just how bad is it for your health? That new car smell is the result of a combination of odors between the materials from which the vehicle is made. The interiors of cars are usually made of plastic, glued or held together with adhesives and sealers. The question of toxicity has been asked a lot, and what kind of health risks does the smell pose? Most studies concluded the number of volatile compounds found in a newly bought car rise to 50 to 60, and it can produce headaches, disorientation, and irritation in some drivers. That's unless you decide to go for an all-leather interior and enjoy a different kind of smell and comfort. And that's all for today, Aluxers. We hope you enjoyed this video. Now before you go, we're curious. What's the most expensive car you've ever gotten the chance to drive? And hey, since you watched all the way to the end, you get a bonus fact. Number 16. There are more cars than people in Los Angeles. We already know that the people living in LA spend a lot of time stuck in traffic jams. Many people commuting between cities in Southern California have bought a car, creating a spike in car ownership. Transit riders have given up on riding the bus or going by train. Ever since 2012, Southern California has lost 72 million transit riders per year all the way through to 2016. The motive behind the increase in the number of cars in LA is that low-income residents are losing their jobs and have to move to the outskirts because it's more affordable, but they won't give up the comfort of their car and driving to work. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.